Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review, Murder Construct. Results. These guys are a metal outfit and a bit of an extreme music supergroup, performing this incredibly tight, technical, and grimy brand of death metal infused with grindcore. So you do get heavy, dissonant guitars, plenty of double bass drum, death growls, and on top of that, the sporadic, frenetic, and very intense and fast nature of grindcore kind of being executed within, put together. Of course, these guys are not the first to combine death metal and grindcore. I mean, the two genres really kind of came of age together. And members of this band have played plenty of grind themselves in other bands like Exhumed, Phobia, Fetus Eaters, also Cattle Decapitation, a band that has put out one of the biggest grind albums of this year. But the thing is, these guys have also been in groups that kind of work outside of that grindcore circle as well. They are coming together on this new full-length debut LP with a filthy dirty sound. There is really nothing refined about the brutality on this album, except for maybe the speed. So I can assure you that on this thing, overproduction is not a problem. These guys are really fast, but not too much about flash, which can kind of be a pro or con on this album. It does lead to some really just unrelenting, pummeling brutality that just does not let up. Kind of redundant that sentence was. But in this very unrelenting nature, it can be difficult to kind of pull out unique qualities about every track, despite the fact that they are there. Most of the tracks on this thing are around 2 minutes, and that's great because nothing is worse than a grind song that just goes on for too long. And over the course of these tracks, Murder Construct works in a lot of nice progressions, phases, sections, like the second track on here, Under the Weight of Wood, which has some really nice, hellish, dark, tremolo melodies and chord progressions toward the beginning of the track. And then around 1 minute 20 seconds, this surprising bridge pops up out of nowhere, and the bass line really kind of comes to the front of the song and plays some nice counterpoint against the guitars. And it's actually kind of surprising how much the bass does pop out in any given track on this album. Kind of rare for music this extreme. I love the heavy and harmonized riffs and guitar leads toward the end of the track, Compelled by Mediocrity, just really vile. And the chord progression on the track Dead Hope actually kind of has like a slightly black metal quality to it. Even though this thing is pummeling, especially with the drums, which are incredibly detailed, just so fast, so perfect, there is nice melody on this album as well. But if the drums don't distract you from that, the horrific vocals from extremely talented metal vocalist Travis Ryan will. For a majority of this album, his vocals are just swallowing the mix on this thing. And it's really because he is kind of a man of 1,000 demonic voices. Deep, guttural, ugly lows that get especially just on the track Compelled by Mediocrity, when you kind of get a multi-track of just different vocal takes just all kind of hitting your ears at once. You do kind of have those straightforward death growls. You do have shrill, high-pitched retches. The guy is just all over the place. And a lot of the times you'll hear these voices kind of trading spots off on the album. You'll hear them singing together in unison, which would be no surprise if you've heard this guy sing on any number of Cattle Decapitation albums. The song structures on this LP, which I already have mentioned a little, do have a lot to offer in terms of variation as well. Like one of the longer tracks on here, the 3-minute track Next Life, which comes right out just blazing. Just these drum beats to me that remind me of D beats, blast beats, heavy riffs. And then right toward the middle of the track just really kind of makes this quick transition to some really slower, darker, moodier arpeggios. It's like the first part of the track really kind of beats you unconscious, and then the second just throws you in a body bag and drags you away. And the closing track on here too has a nice progression, a nice change from beginning to end. It starts off with just this really pummeling introduction, which is a little run-of-the-mill, but after that, it slows down, things get dark, there's a musical passage the band is playing, but all of a sudden, you know, it kind of fades and the same musical passage is being played, but the instrumentation has changed into strings, sitar, piano, hand percussion. I thought the shift, the transition was okay, but once the instrumentation was there doing what it was doing, it sounded good. You know, as far as negatives on this LP go, there are some tracks that I do feel like kind of go by in a blur without really making a serious impact among a number of tracks that are so heavy and just hard, fast, and in your face. Another negative to me is that I kind of feel like, yeah, these guys got together in this supergroup to do this album, but what did they really do here that they couldn't do in their respective bands or haven't already done to an extent? If anything, they've just kind of brought together all of the best qualities of their respective bands and then just kind of put them on one record, which isn't a bad thing. Now, I know a lot of you guys who watch the channel on a regular basis are not into music like this necessarily. I mean, you know, tread lightly, be open-minded. It's kind of like eating broccoli rabe, you know, music like this. If you eat a vegetable like broccoli rabe, you know, what's going to hit you first if you've never tried it before is the strong, strong, strong bitter taste. But if you learn to cook with it, taste it, what you should or shouldn't pair it with food-wise, you not only taste past that bitterness once, you know, you get used to it, but you also learn to kind of appreciate the bitterness in balance with everything else the food has to offer. I'm feeling a light to decent 8 on this album. If you guys given it a listen, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what should I review?
Animal collections, animal collections, animal collections, animal collections.
Remember, the good comment, the great rate, and only the strong subscribe. Anthony Fantano, Murder Construct, forever.